Avoid legal snags by telling people that you are recording.
Whatever. Let's just keep going.
Okay.
I have my happy.
All right. So we're continuing. Bear jumps out.
By a bear.
So,
we talked about bear.
You died because you put soap into your dry hands.
Dumb.
That's where we were at.
Yes.
And we talked about midsummer.
Then we talked about
over, blah, blah, blah. Faucet.
You rinse your hands in the faucet. The water is hot but bearable. Your hands are now wet.
There we go.
Next.
Got wet hands, and we got to go through the faucet.
Apparently you do not think your hands are wet enough, so you stick them back under the flowing faucet. Your hands are now really wet.
Okay. No harm.
You're going to do it again.
Valve. No.
You begin to reach out towards the valve to shut it off, despite the fact you've never even put soap onto your hands and therefore are clearly not actually clean yet. You know if you continue to turn off the water, you will end up getting a game over. Maybe you would like to reconsider. You don't. You continue. That's my predictor.
Oh. I don't remember. Because I honestly think that if you hit continue, it's not funny. Yeah, I still did it. But so I jumped really quickly, but
you take a moment to examine your hands. They're wet and slimy, and for some reason you think about kittens.
Okay. Trash.
You kick open the trash lid and peer inside. You catch a whiff of rotten cheese and immediately take your foot off the pedal.
So the only thing left
is soap.
Okay, yeah.
You stick your wet hands under the automatic soap dispenser. A large clump of foaming white junk. Your foaming junk oozes out into your hands. Your hands are now wet and holding a clump of what is not entirely soap. Not entirely soap.
Not entirely soap. I wonder if I get more soap. Nope, just go straight to the trash.
You lift up the lid, tuck the soap in your hands. Your hands are now empty, wet and unclean. You begin to rethink of some of your life choices.
So then I go back to the soap. Because if you just hit return at this point, it goes back to you having just at the sink with wet hands.
Mm-hmm.
And all of those old choices go back to what they were. So there's no new choices at that point.
Yeah.
So this is going to cut to having, wet soap hands. You get more soap on your hands. Now you're going for a towel.
You go to take a paper towel from the dispenser, but you're holding soap. You cannot hold more than one thing at a time. Discard soap to take paper towel, to make room for paper towel.
Obviously.
You discard the soap and pick up the paper towel. The paper towel soaks up the water in your hands, leaving them nice and dry, but your hands are still not clean enough.
So this resets you all the way back to when you had dry hands. So a lot of that's going to get cut out. And it's going to bring us to your hands are wet and holding a lump of soap. So get more soap.
Fearing that you do not have enough soap, you stick your hand yet again under the soap dispenser. It's really quite exhilarating, hearing the noise and making sure the soap is ejected from the canister. You begin to wonder, but soon you realize now is not the right time.
No, it's not a race.
True.
I don't know why you're rushing through it so quickly.
Because I want to make these pauses seem even longer.
Brilliant. Okay.
You stick your hands under the faucet, which, as it watches the soap you were holding leaves your hands. The soap begins to spiral down the sink and finally goes down the drain. You wonder what happens to the soap now. Does it flow right into the sewer, or does the soap help clean it? And if you dump enough soap down the drain, would the sewers become clean enough to eat off of? And if so, were there already restaurants in the sewer? Well, would sewer-based restaurants need restrooms? Would you need a reservation? Oh well. All you know is that you just flush perfectly good soap down the drain. Return.
All right. So what did you miss out on?
Hands.
There you go. And this one coming up eventually,
maybe
when we get there, added the most annoying time to everything. So hands.
You rub your hands together and make them good and soapy.
Okay. Next.
Hey now, what are you doing? It's the friction from rubbing your hands that really kills it. By not rubbing them together for at least 20 seconds, you don't even kill them. Even worse, germs that you do kill are weak and pathetic ones. Now the remaining germs are strong, hardy ones, and they will multiply and become even more stronger. It's survival of the fittest. Now we have a super germ out there, and they're all resistant to all our normal soaps. These super germs continue to multiply and become even stronger. Soon they'll get into the local penitentiary to infect all the criminals. And then the super germs won't kill. They'll instead mutate the criminals and transform them into supervillains. Supervillains break out of the prisons and begin to rain terror. And they're unstoppable. Every good person is either killed or enslaved. Game over.
See?
You have to wait 30 seconds.
That's what fucking happens when you don't wash your hands for at least 20 seconds.
20 seconds, Larry.
Which means, for this next cut...
we have to sit there for 20 seconds.
Yes. And it also means for all cuts after that, I had to wait 20 seconds each and every time. And I did not include that. But I did include the first one. And I added a nice little touch to it, I think. Okay.
Yeah, you got the soap.
Hands. Here we go. Here is the 20-second clock. So that we all know now what 20 seconds feels like.
You do the opening of the Black Parade, or you sing Happy Birthday twice.
Yes. You know, it went by a lot faster than it did the first time I went through it 17 fucking thousand times. So you washed your hands for 20 seconds, and now you kicked open the trash.
Look inside, it's trash. What were you expecting? You close the lid and feel a little bit empty.
Return. Towel. Hands?
You look at your hands. They are soapy and clean, all soapy and clean. You can almost taste victory, but yet you do not get confident. There's one more step. You cannot afford another slip-up. You turn the water off.
With soapy hands?
No, you rinse.
See, you fucked up. But not in the way that I fucked up, because I went for a towel.
Okay. You reach for the paper towel with your soapy hands. Now, most people would use water to rinse their hands off with, but not you. You think you can just towel them off and nothing bad will happen. Well, think again. Even if you wipe off the soap off your hands, it's still there. Like microscopics or some shit. Yeah, you might shake hands with somebody using your non-detectable to the naked eye soapy hands. And what if that person is allergic to soap? Now, I don't know about anybody who's really allergic to soap, but that does seem possible, right? And what if their allergic reaction was so bad that that person died? Why, that would be perfect murder. Completely undetectable.
Casey.
What?
Take a breath after each
sentence. No!
It's not a race.
No, I don't wanna!
Alright, whatever. Continue.
But then some secret government agency would contact you and force you to become an assassin. And you would travel the globe taking out world leaders and other enemy combatants. Until one day you were given the new target, your mom. So you could kill your own mother in order to serve your government. Or would you become a rogue agent and work against your former employer? It doesn't matter. The agency has already learned of your indecision and are acting Now, see the big red dot on your forehead? Of course not. That's the whole point. You'll never see them coming. Game over.
Because of the soap. All right.
Even though your hands are full and already soaped up enough, you decide you could use a little more. It's not like you're going to pay for more soap, are you? Go on then. Take as much as you like. The company will just buy more. That's the cost of doing business. The accountants probably won't even notice.
Yeah. You know what's interesting about this game, though? Now that I'm seeing it all compressed like this,
Mm-hmm.
the narrative, like the business narrative, does kind of make sense.
Hey, you did not actually think that was the right choice, did you? I mean, come on. Trying to turn off the water when your hands are all soapy? You had to have known that's what you were supposed to rinse them off first. Now go back and do it right this time.
So that was reaching for the valve. But clearly, like, this, like, you're role-playing as somebody who works, like, for the CIA.
I guess.
Faucet.
You rinse off the soap off your hands. Now they're clean, but they're also wet. You're almost done. Hang in there.
Cool.
Let's put more soap.
No. No, I think I tried that, and it just resets it, and it's not fun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You stick your hands under the water again? Maybe you thought you missed a bit of soap, maybe, under your fingernail? That's where I usually miss it anyway. And it's anyways.
Yeah, you got to get under your fingernails when you're washing people.
There's a whole routine. You got to go in between. You got to do the back sides. You got to do the fingernail.
Now,
Like how I do it now. Wrong. Look, you made me break out the big text. Don't make me use the red text. You've been warned. Return. Did you try to use the faucet?
Yeah.
Or
That was going under the fingernails.
Ah.
So this is in the rinsing period. So we've washed our hands.
We've
20
rinsed
seconds with soap, and we've rinsed once. Well, actually, at this point, we've rinsed twice, and we've gotten under the fingernails. If you add more soap,
It just starts it over. Fearing that your hands weren't quite clean enough, you reach for the soap dispenser once again. As expected, another glop of soapish goop splatters forth from the machine and onto your welcoming palms.
now, what I cut out from this is that this takes you back to the point where you've got soapy hands. And what I learned when originally recording all of this is that this means you have to go through the entire 20-second hand washing procedure again. It's not like you washed your hands for 20 seconds, rinsed them off, added more soap, and can just rinse them off again. No, you got to do the 20 seconds again. So that shit got cut out. Now we're going to hands.
Hands. You look at your amazingly clean hands. You can't believe it. Just under a minute ago, they were dirty. Still, your hands are wet. I guess you could let them air dry, but that could take a while. Maybe you could find another way to dry your hands? Return.
Huh. What would be the other way?
Shake
There's
them.
only two ways left. There's either towels or the trash.
You're going to do trash.
I think the answer is in the trash.
I think the answer is in the trash, too. You open the trash can lid. You know eventually you will have to put the paper towel in there, but right now is not the time. You begin to feel lightheaded for no particular reason. Will they let you
now we know, but now we know that we're
trash?
an assassin who works for the CIA that's probably anemic.
You take a paper towel from the paper towel dispenser. Amazingly, the paper towel begins to soap up the water from your hands. After a bit of rubbing, your hands become dry. Imagine that.
Next.
Let's see how you fuck it up. 5 minutes.
Minutes left. Yeah.
I don't know what
Now you're
version
holding a
it
wet
is.
paper towel.
Stick it in the faucet. You stick the wet paper towel you're holding under the flowing water. It becomes even more wet. It cannot get any more wet. This is at critical absorption.
Okay, fine. No harm, no foul.
Stick it under the soap. I like how I'm yelling at this like we're playing it live.
I know. Soap.
So, my paper towel plus soap. I bet you wanted to do some cleaning, right? Well, go ahead and wash the sink then. Wash the sink.
Yeah, wash the sink.
You just finished washing the sink. Do you wash your hands? No, wrong answer. You should always wash your hands after cleaning anything, especially if there were chemicals involved. I know it may seem counterproductive, but what you use to clean and sanitize your workplace may not be safe for human skin. Always consult chemical supplier instructions on usage. Remember, if you're never unsure on whether or not to wash your hands, wash your fucking hands. Game over.
Okay. Here's what pisses me off about that one. You used hand soap to clean the sink. There was no extra chemicals involved. If you followed that trail, you were using hand soap to clean the sink.
Remember, even if you are unsure whether or not to wash your hands, wash your fucking hands.
I am 100% sure.
That you should have washed your fucking hands, you're right.
I washed my hands. In this scenario, I washed my hands and then used my hand soap and the wet paper towel to wash the sink. No chemicals, no extra chemicals got involved.
Remember, if you were ever unsure whether or not to wash your hands, wash your fucking hands. The instructions are right fucking there.
I gotta start all over because I wanted to clean the fucking sink? Because I wanted to clean sink. I gotta start all over now.
They gave you the option to wash your hands and you said no. That was your mistake.
My hands were already clean. It was clean hands washing a clean sink.
So all this shit that you had on your hands that you washed on the sink and then washed the sink, you just re-put everything in the sink.
No, remember? That towel was in the trash. Anyway, so we're back. My hands are clean and dry. I don't know why I said it's your hands. Your hands are clean and dry and holding a wet paper towel, and you're reaching for a new paper towel.
Yep. You take another paper towel from the paper towel dispenser. Unfortunately, you're already holding a wet paper towel. You must discard your paper towel before acquiring a fresh one. Those are the rules. Don't get mad at me. I didn't make them. Return. Bullshit, you made them.
I know.
You
made all of it. The Dachshund, what was it? Dachshund Tonic or whatever?
Dachshund Techno?
Techno, yeah, I think you're right. All right, so hands.
You look at your hands. They're holding a wet paper towel. It's kind of gross. Maybe you should think about getting rid of it.
Yep, I agree.
Will you turn off the faucet with it?
No.
You kick open the lid, you wad up the paper towel, slam dunk it into the trash can. You can almost hear the roar of victory from the crowd as they chant you into the roar of the crowd as they chant you onto victory. The feeling of excitement and intensity grows within you.
Now, I want to address something that you just addressed because I think I went way past it and then went back to it. But I do think I go back to using the wet paper towel to turn off the faucet. But we've kind of passed that moment. I do think I go back to it.
You peer into the trash can. You see paper towels that you have previously discarded. You wonder how many more paper towels it can hold. How many more trees will have to die.
Yes. How many?
All of them.
All of the trees?
All of them.